Hello everyone, welcome to DTX Recap. Today, we'll be discussing and reviewing the movie The Arcadian 2024 and exploring why it didn't become the blockbuster we anticipated, even with the iconic actor Nicolas Cage in a starring role. If you enjoy this video, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Now, let's get started. The movie Arcadian follows the survival journey of a small family in a post-apocalyptic world filled with terrifying creatures. Paul Nicolas Cage, a resilient father, lives with his twin sons, Joseph Yedin Martel and Thomas Maxwell Jenkins, on a secluded farm. Each night, they must fight to survive as monstrous predators emerge from the shadows, threatening their lives. The plot delves into the dynamics of familial relationships under intense pressure and fear. As the creatures become increasingly dangerous, tensions rise between the three main characters. Paul struggles to balance protecting his children and confronting his own fears, while Joseph and Thomas are forced to grow up quickly to face the harsh realities of their situation. As the story unfolds, the mysteries surrounding the creatures, their origins, and the fall of the world are partially revealed. However, the film primarily focuses on the family's survival rather than providing a comprehensive explanation of the dystopian setting. The movie concludes with a decisive confrontation, leaving a lasting impression of resilience and familial love amidst adversity. The movie Arcadian establishes a post-apocalyptic setting where humanity's survival is threatened by mysterious and deadly creatures. At the heart of the film is Paul's family, living in isolation on a remote farm, where each night becomes a battle between life and death. The film not only tells a survival story but also delves into the inner struggles and explores the fragile boundaries between hope and despair. The way Arcadian handles the family narrative in a harsh environment sets it apart from conventional post-apocalyptic works. Each character must confront not only physical threats but also their deepest fears, adding emotional depth to the film. Paul, portrayed by Nicolas Cage, is the central character of the film and the pillar of his family. In a post-apocalyptic world, Paul must confront not only external dangers from monstrous creatures but also his inner fears as he strives to protect his two children. He carries the heavy responsibility of safeguarding his family in a harsh environment while trying to instill survival skills in them, all while battling the collapse of hope in a destroyed world. Cage's performance is marked by restraint, where his expressions and actions speak volumes about Paul's exhaustion, tension, and unwavering determination. He portrays a father fighting not only for survival but also to preserve human values in a devastated world. However, at times, Paul's harsh decision-making and approach may feel slightly unconvincing, particularly in moments that require more empathy and understanding within the family dynamic. Joseph and Thomas, played by Yedin Martel and Maxwell Jenkins, serve as key emotional drivers in the film. Initially, they are dependent on their father for survival, but as the story unfolds, they are thrust into a brutal reality, where they must confront dangers and make life-or-death decisions. The emotional growth of Joseph and Thomas is a standout aspect of the film. Their transition from innocent children to young individuals who must learn to survive reflects the theme of maturation in the face of adversity. Martel and Jenkins deliver strong performances that convey this transformation from fear to courage, from reliance on their father to independent action. However, some viewers may feel that the pace of their development could seem too fast, as the sudden responsibility thrust upon them might appear a bit unrealistic for children in such a perilous world. While their growth is integral to the plot, the rapid nature of their maturity may feel somewhat unconvincing. The actors, particularly Nicolas Cage, do an excellent job in their roles, with Cage portraying a father who is both strong and vulnerable. Martel and Jenkins also bring emotional depth to their roles as the growing children, making their transformations both believable and poignant. The film excellently portrays the father-child and sibling relationships, showing the sacrifices and growth that occur in the face of relentless danger. The bond between Paul and his sons is a key emotional element that grounds the film. While Paul's determination is clear, at times he can seem too rigid and lacking the tenderness needed to navigate the familial challenges they face. This could make his interactions with his children feel somewhat strained and less natural. Although the performances are strong, the quick development of Joseph and Thomas can feel somewhat rushed. In an environment as dangerous as the one presented, the transition from innocent children to survivalists could benefit from a more gradual build. The characters in Arcadian are crafted with depth and emotional complexity, particularly Paul and his sons, whose development is at the heart of the narrative. While there are some areas where the characters could have been more fully developed, overall, they contribute significantly to the emotional and thematic richness of the film. The film excels in portraying the human struggle to survive in a world that has lost its humanity, with performances that make the characters' emotional journeys compelling and relatable. Entering the analysis of the strengths and weaknesses of Arcadian, we can examine the film from multiple angles, including its storyline, characters, and the depiction of its post-apocalyptic world. While the film impresses with its tension, emotional family relationships, and strong performances, it also has areas that could benefit from improvement in order to deliver a more complete cinematic experience. Strengths: building tension and atmosphere. Arcadian successfully creates a gripping, tense atmosphere, thanks to its effective use of cinematography. The night scenes featuring terrifying creatures evoke fear and haunting imagery, keeping the audience on edge. The sound and visuals are skillfully combined to enhance the tension and emphasize the constant danger the characters face. Emotional family development. The film not only focuses on survival but also highlights family dynamics, particularly the father-son relationship. The way Nicolas Cage protects his two sons and their growth in a harsh environment creates a strong emotional connection with the audience. This family story is touching and adds emotional depth to the film. Strong performances. Nicolas Cage delivers a deeply introspective performance as Paul, balancing strength with moments of vulnerability and exhaustion. Alongside him, young actors Yedin Martel and Maxwell Jenkins impress as the twin brothers, capturing their emotional development and maturation in such a harsh world. Unconventional storyline. Despite being a post-apocalyptic film, Arcadian doesn't rely on typical action tropes but instead focuses on character psychology. This approach makes the film stand out among others in the genre, as it explores not just violence and survival, but also family relationships, faith, and hope. Weaknesses. Lack of world-building detail. One of the main drawbacks of Arcadian is the lack of detailed information about the world and the origins of the frightening creatures. The audience may feel unsatisfied by the lack of explanation regarding the chaos the world is in and the nature of the monsters threatening humanity, which could detract from the overall story. Character development felt too rapid. While the growth of the two young characters, Joseph and Thomas, is a key part of the film, their development sometimes feels too fast and unrealistic. The children, after a brief period, are faced with life-or-death challenges without much struggle. This rapid maturity may not resonate with all viewers, as the process of growing up in such a dangerous environment could seem overly rushed. Pacing issues. Some viewers may find the film's pacing slow, particularly in the early sections, where the plot advances slowly and lacks action. While this allows for emotional depth, it may not satisfy those seeking more immediate excitement and tension. Conclusion. Arcadian is an emotionally and psychologically driven post-apocalyptic film that still delivers thrilling elements of action and survival. Despite some weaknesses in world building and character development, the film is worth watching due to its strong performances, emotionally resonant family relationships, and tense atmosphere. The movie Arcadian, released on April 12, 2024, has grossed approximately $859,453 worldwide. Tribute. The Vor. While this amount is notable, it has not reached the level of blockbuster success, nor is it considered to have exploded in terms of box office performance. However, it has gained attention for its emotional depth and strong performances, particularly from Nicolas Cage. The film's more niche appeal and focus on character development in a post-apocalyptic setting likely contributed to its more modest commercial results. There are several factors that could explain why Arcadian did not explode at the box office despite its promising premise and cast. Niche appeal. The film focuses heavily on emotional and psychological drama set in a post-apocalyptic world, with an emphasis on family relationships and personal growth. This approach appeals more to audiences who appreciate character-driven stories rather than action-packed, spectacle-driven films. The lack of high-intensity action sequences or traditional post-apocalyptic tropes like large-scale battles or explosive visual effects likely limited its broader appeal. Marketing and promotion. The film's marketing campaign may not have been strong enough to capture the attention of a wide audience. With so many blockbuster movies and franchises dominating the market, films like Arcadian often struggle to stand out unless they receive substantial promotion or have a strong following in advance. Competition. Arcadian was released during a time when multiple high-budget, action-oriented films were also in theaters, which can overshadow smaller films. In a market dominated by sequels, superhero films, and well-established franchises, it's difficult for a movie with a more niche focus to gain significant traction. Pacing and tone. The slower pacing and introspective tone of the film might not have resonated with a large portion of moviegoers who prefer faster-paced thrillers or more traditional horror action movies. This pacing can also be challenging for casual viewers who might expect more excitement from a post-apocalyptic film. These factors combined could explain why Arcadian did not achieve massive box office success despite its unique narrative and strong performances. Arcadian is a post-apocalyptic film with emotional depth and psychological complexity, showcasing strong performances and a compelling family dynamic. While it didn't achieve massive box office success or explode like many other films, it still leaves a lasting impression with its unique storyline and the nuanced emotional growth of its characters. With its distinctive backdrop and profound narrative, the film is well worth watching for those who appreciate character-driven stories that differ from typical blockbuster films. If you enjoy films with deep emotional content, tension, and heartfelt moments, be sure to like and subscribe to my channel for more movie reviews. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.